Hey everyone, it's Jack from WhatCulture.com, and like many things in life, such as roller coasters, mountain ranges, and a third thing that I haven't thought of yet, wrestling is full of ups and downs. Now, as some of you may know, this video is based on a weekly article done at WhatCulture.com by Scott Carlson, and usually we agree on most of the points, but this week I'm starting off with a big point of contention between the two of us. Very sorry, Scott. Now, in his article, Scott disagreed with the idea of bringing Seth Rollins back as a heel, and I do see his point, because having Rollins come out to a massive babyface pop made sense, and if he'd suddenly sided with the crowd, he'd have been the perfect sort of natural rival for Roman Reigns. But I enjoy the way they did it too, because think about it logically. Rollins got to the top by being selfish and arrogant and sneaky, and there's no reason for him to change that. The only reason his success came to an end, in kayfabe terms, is because of his injury, and I think it only makes perfect sense that he'd be resolute in his ways, at least until a potential double turn angle with Roman. That may be looking too far into the future, but for now, for me, that most certainly is an up. And we follow that up with an immediate down point, because as brilliant as Seth's opening heel promo was, he then went backstage, saw Stephanie McMahon, went to give her a lovely hug, and she went, "No, no, no, Seth, things have changed around here. Way to emasculate your biggest returning name. Great job, Steph. Why do you always have to be over?" Another positive now, because as Scott points out in the article, 5 of this week's 7 matches on Raw were Money in the Bank qualifiers, and it's always refreshing to tune into a weekly show and see that most of the bouts have a sense of importance behind them, so that's definitely an up. And another fantastic part of the show, one of the biggest pops of the night, was of course the tremendous news that Enzo Amore has finally returned from injury. He didn't wrestle, but he accompanied Big Cass in his match against Bubba Ray Dudley, and it's just so good to see him back, so that's definitely an up. And then on the other hand, there's kind of a down point to this as well, because now, are the Dudleys anything more than glorified jobbers? They've been outsmarted by Big Cass alone in the past couple of weeks, and now Enzo's back, they have again come out looking like fools. Is there any way back for Bubba Ray and Devon, or is this their final sort of stretch with WWE? Another negative point now, what was with that birthday segment? The New Day came out with a birthday cake, they said it was Raw's 1200th episode ever. Yeah guys, that doesn't necessarily mean it's Raw's birthday. If it was its birthday, it would have been on January the 11th when Raw actually made its debut back in the 90s. Oh, and January 11th was a Monday this year, and there was no fanfare at all. I don't understand what WWE are going for here. That's definitely a down, my brain hurts. And yet another down point, I'm afraid, because Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler are continuing their feud, and it's just not. And speaking of NXT call-ups having bad nights, Apollo Crews had an absolute shocker. He again didn't display any character development. He lost clean to Chris Jericho, who was slammed through thumbtacks mere hours before, and he kinda messed up the finish too, so it's not the best day at the office for Apollo. Hopefully his future stays bright, or he could be going the way of Tyler Breeze, etc. So that's a down. Finally, some good news as well, because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn each won their qualifying matches, and they will both be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, this is very good news, because you only have to look back at WrestleMania to see how those two guys thrive in such a chaotic and dangerous environment. So I, for one, am very, very much looking forward to that match, even just because those two guys are in it. Speaking of Money in the Bank qualifying matches, Miz v Cesaro, what a match. That's an up. Speaking of great matches on Raw, AJ Styles v Kevin Owens, what a match. It's an up as well. And finally, this could be another contentious point, but I'm going to give it an upvote. I think that the decision to have AJ Styles lose clean to Kevin Owens is a good one. AJ can't risk sticking around in the main event scene for too long. He's already lost clean to Roman Reigns on 2 occasions, and it now makes sense for him to move into something else. And this recent loss and subsequent dissension with the members of the club kind of implies that there could be a very exciting feud on the horizon with Finn Balor. So I'll give that one a tentative upvote. It could all come crashing down in the next few months, who knows, but for now, cautiously optimistic. That's all we've got time for on the 3rd ever edition of Ups and Downs, and as you can see, this week Raw was just about a positive show. The upvotes very slightly outweighed the downvotes, and I think we can all agree there was some fantastic action on show as well. Let's just hope WWE can keep this momentum going into Money in the Bank over the next few weeks, and make sure to check out Scott Carlson's brilliant article every week on WhatCulture.com for his take on the ups and downs as well. So thank you very much for watching. I've been Jack from WhatCulture.com. Pachiti Club for life, as always. Go and watch Extreme Rules reactions if you haven't already. It's insane. And I'll see you soon.
WhatCulture.com are releasing a new magazine about wrestling, and it's called Wrestling. It'll have 140 pages of timeless wrestling content, including a brand new How WWE Should Have Booked written by this virulent son of a bitch. It will also have a list of the 100 best wrestling matches of all time compiled by WhatCulture staff and wrestling insiders. So the magazine is available to pre-order now. Follow the link in the description and enjoy WhatCulture.com's Wrestling.